Hello, everyone. Good evening. Dear authors and invited guests, welcome to Technical Session 3A. Myself, Ishita Soryan, and this session will be moderated by me. On behalf of Global Knowledge Research Foundation, it is my great pleasure to welcome you all to the 8th International Conference on Smart Trends in Computing and Communications, SMARTCOM 2024, Pune, India. The 8th edition of the conference is being organized in a hybrid mode. The physical event is organized today in Pune, India, and the virtual event is being held through Zoom today and tomorrow, that is 12th and 13th of January 2024. I hope you will all enjoy the knowledgeable interactive sessions through the day. In this session, we have 10 presentations. Each presenter will be given 8 minutes for the presentations and 2 minutes for question and answers. On 7 minutes, I will raise a gentle reminder. There's another request to all the participants that you all stay connected with us till the closing remarks. If you have any query or update, then you can write it to me in the chat box. Just before we get started, I would like to introduce you all to the chair for this session. We have with us Dr. Om Prakash Rishi, presently working as Director IT, University of Kota, and Associate Professor in Department of Computer Science and Informatics, University of Kota. His present research interest is intelligent systems in IT, case-based reasoning, AI applications, cloud computing, and e-governance. He has published 40 research papers in international referred journals and 30 research papers in international conference proceedings. We welcome you, sir.
Thank you, Ishita. And I welcome to all of you. This is a great honor for me to welcome you within this prestigious event, SmartCom 2024. And as you are all aware that I am chairing this session along with Ishita. This session will run from 3:30 to 5:30, and there will be 10 talks, as Ishita said earlier. And every speaker, all the norms already told by the Ishita. The objective of this conference is to learn and share knowledge among all of those who have bridged within this area of communication and information technology. And basically this conference is a forum to bring together all the academicians, researchers, scientists, software architects, and industry professionals to discuss innovative ideas and drive topics on next generation of information technology and smart applications like that. Now I request to Ishita to open the session and invite the first presenter for their presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. We'll be starting with the first paper presenter, Jamin, with the paper titled A Comprehensive Survey and Future Standpoints on Big Data Analytics of Mobile Data. You may please start your presentation, sir.
Yeah, sure.
Hello everyone. My voice is audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Actually, he had one accident, so he is hospitalized. So, behalf of his, I will present this paper.
Sure, ma'am. No issues. Please go ahead.
Okay. Sorry, ma'am. I have to join with another device because please. Hello, ma'am. Can you give me 2 minutes?
Yes.
Or you can.
Yes, ma'am. Or we can proceed with the next presenter. Till then, you can change the devices.
Sure, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay.
We'll be proceeding with our next presenter. We have Vishnu Sayajayam with the paper titled A Hybrid Fast LiO2 and SCALAM SLAM Algorithm for Autonomous Vehicles. You may start with your presentation, sir.
Yeah. Good afternoon. Am I audible?
Yes, sir. You're audible.
Yeah. Is my screen visible to you guys?
Yes, sir. It is visible. You may start.
Excellent. So, good afternoon, everyone, respected dignitaries, and all those who are participating in this conference. My paper title is A Hybrid Fast Wait and Decision SLAM Algorithm for Autonomous Vehicles. So, authors for these paper are myself, Vishnu Sai, and the co-authors Venkat Hanushkani and Mallikarjun and Vishnu Naik. And we have our guides, Mrs. Shweta Balga ma'am and Dr. Kumar ma'am, who have been supporting us through this project and ensured, if we had any doubts and clearing all those things. So, coming to the contents of the PPT, this is the outline. We'll be starting with introduction and then objectives and the methodology of the intelligent algorithm, and we'll be finally discussing the results and conclusion along with the future scope of this particular algorithm. So coming to the introduction part, you might have heard about autonomous vehicles, right? So uh, nowadays autonomous vehicles are the booming concept where so many companies have started implementing those autonomous thing in in their vehicles. So there are so many technologies which are under the radar to for the autonomous vehicles. Those are radar and lidar. So you might have also heard about Tesla, which uses computer vision and radar for the autonomous vehicles. So here we will be you know explaining about the lidar technology, which has been the trending concept for the autonomous vehicles, which uses laser beams to create detailed 3D maps of the environment. So this basically has a concept called SLAM, which actually enables the autonomous systems to build maps while determining their own location along with the poles. So the significance is the improved SLAM and localization enhances the navigation and autonomy of robots or vehicles in various applications. This SLAM problem is the major problem in the field of robotics and autonomous systems. We have various algorithms under this SLAM technology, and we will be introducing you with a new concept of hybrid technology where we integrate different algorithms and try to mitigate the disadvantages and increases the advantages of both algorithms. So basically, this technology refers to difficulty of getting a robot or system to predict its identity or location in that environment, while simultaneously creating a map of it in the unknown environment. So these have been a focus of extensive research due to their importance in many applications such as EV and UAVs and augmented reality. So basically, overall, we can think it as a chicken egg problem. Like we need a map to determine the location of robot, but at the same time, to know the operation of the robot, we need a map. So this lidar SLAM technology enables us to create a map as well as to determine our own location in that particular map and create a map in an unknown environment. So the objectives of this particular project are to enhance the loop closure detection capability of odometry algorithms and perform point cloud processing as well from the data generated from the LiDAR sensors. And also, this also involves a new concept of integrating two different algorithms to mitigate the drawbacks and perform tests on various datasets. So, coming to the next slide, this is the whole methodology that we have followed, starting from data acquisition and data pre-processing, and then we will be doing SLAM detection and implementation. And we will also be integrating this fast layer 2 and SCLM algorithms and focusing on the optimization. And we'll be testing the same algorithm with various datasets, and we will be evaluating the accuracy and efficacy of the algorithm. And then coming to the next part, these are the softwares we have used for the development of this particular algorithm. So those are Ubuntu 20.0.46, which is the latest one of the latest operating systems. And then we have used the ROS Noetics operating system for the implementation of for doing simulations and performing tests on datasets, which has Python 3 support as well, which is a very good technology to use. And then we also have used various sensor packages such as Revoke source driver, Velodyne sensors, and IMU. So this Velodyne is a lidar sensor, and the IMU is the as you guys know this is the main sensor which gives us acceleration and gyroscope readings. So these sensors give us valuable information that goes into the dataset and that can be performed on an algorithm to test its efficacy. So coming to the next part, uh, I will be explaining about what basically is a dataset. So it's basically a collection of real-world sensor data and LiDAR point clouds and GPS and IMU measurements. So we basically will be having a real-world vehicle which has all these sensors included in it. So while creating a map, we need all those sensors to gather data while moving in that particular environment. So this dataset will be containing certain topics containing all the data sampled at a perfect interval so that each at a particular instant all the uh, data that is available from each sensor is mapped properly and then stored in a file. So while new algorithm was implemented, we can actually test that particular data set on that algorithm and find out what are the drawbacks or what are the advantages of this particular algorithm in determining or creating the map. So that is the basic part which helps us to which helps algorithm to create a map. So one of the standard datasets such as Kitty dataset has wide range of topics, so which is applicable to uh, every algorithm. So it is designed in such a way that we can uh, actually test any algorithm on that particular dataset. But along with that, we also implemented our very own RBC college dataset, which has been implemented by our wiring group in our college. So it uses Velodyne lidar sensor and XSense MTA sensor and Spinnaker camera. So these are the sensors that were used in a real world autonomous vehicle, and we have created that particular dataset to ensure that we can test that particular dataset in our algorithm. So coming to the next part, I will be explaining briefly about what basically is a fast Leo 2 algorithm is. So it's basically an advanced version of Leo SAM. So, but it is a fast and robust LiDAR industrial odometer algorithm that uses direct method for scan matching. So this algorithm doesn't extract features from the LiDAR data. LiDAR data is basically, we'll be sending light beams and it will reflect back from a source, and then it it considers it as a point cloud, and then it stores it in the form of tabular columns. So all these are stored in terms of what distance that particular point has been bounced off, and then it is stored, and then while creating the map, these points are used to create the whole 3D environment. So as it uses raw point cloud, it's actually very difficult to process the data. So to address this challenge, it uses number of techniques such as scan matching process or using grids to represent that particular point cloud data. So to explain it in easier way, we have known Minecraft, right? So the basic blocks are stored in such a way that we can actually compare two different scans using those grids. So that is the main advantage of this fast layout algorithm. It also uses Kalman filter for state estimation process, so that it determines whether in which state are we currently on and whether we can move further or not while creating a map. So if we see at the picture, this is the whole block diagram of a fast layout taking IMU inputs and LiDAR inputs at a different frequencies, so that because IMU is always faster compared to LiDAR inputs, so these are mapped in a state and stored stored along and then given to odometry output, and it actually maps to the already created data set and checks whether we can move forward or whether it matches or not. So here scan matching is the main thing that is happening, and KNN search is done to find out whether we have reached a location where we have already gone through. So it basically fuses point cloud data and initial measurements using a direct odometer approach, eliminating feature extraction. So we did not process the data and directly extract the data. So coming to the next slide. So this is the whole system overview. It uses advanced sensor fusion algorithms and efficient mapping techniques, enabling robots to navigate complex environments with enhanced position accuracy. It adopts scan-to-scan matching techniques, as we have seen earlier, where consecutive LiDAR scans are aligned to estimate the incremental movement. So it uses this particular data structure called IKD tree, which reduces the computational power by easing the process of scan-to-scan matching techniques. So coming to the next one. Yeah, this is basically the algorithm of fast layout where LiDAR raw points are first accumulated over a period between 10 milliseconds and 100 milliseconds. This whole accumulate point cloud, all those points is called a single scan. And to perform state estimation, we need a points in scan are registered to map points. So these map points are again organized in a large local map by this data structure called IKD tree, and it tracks all map points in grids, and then it is used to compute the residual in the state estimation module. The whole the pose is usually evaluated here and finally registers points in a new scan. So This iterated Kalman filter consists of two key steps. Those are propagation upon each IMU measurement and iterated update upon each LiDAR scan. So as soon as the LiDAR scan happens, it updates the previous state and then it propagates further upon each IMU measurement. So it takes the pose as well as LiDAR scan. So since we have explained IMU measurements are usually of higher frequency, so we need to make sure that they are mapped, sampled properly and registered at correct intervals of time. So coming to the next part, as you can see, this is the
Excuse me, sir.
actual.
I'm really sorry to disturb you, but I just needed to remind you of the time limit.
Yeah, sure. So this is the actual picture that was generated by fast Leo algorithm, which depicts the whole point cloud. And then coming to the next part, this is the SEO. So the main drawback of a fast CO2 was it wasn't able to optimize, or it wasn't able to do motion estimation or pose estimation properly, and it lacks loop closure detection module. So SCLM is the main algorithm that we are integrating into fast CO2, so that we are actually reducing these drawbacks of fast CO2. So coming to the next slide. Yeah, this is the whole algorithm of fast CO2, which uses postgraph optimization and the GTSAM based probabilistic graphical model library, which actually solves these all nonlinear optimization problems present in fast CO2. Yeah, coming to the next slide. Yeah, as you can see in the given picture, we can actually see the red line is the actual trajectory, and the actual path followed was blue. So there are some minor differences between actual path and the trajectory, but this is the most accurate algorithm that has been trending in the lidar technology. So we are integrating this particular SCLM into the fast CO2. So coming to the next slide. So why fusion? So fast LOD is computationally efficient and robust radar initial odometry, but SCLM is very good for loop detection and post graph optimization. So which is the main disadvantage. So integration is done in a way that SCLM takes odometry and radar points from fast LOD to node, and optimized map is generated within SCPZ1 node. So coming to the next slide. Yeah, this is the pictorial representation of what I have explained earlier. Odometer algorithm is a fast VO2 and SCPZ1 takes keyframe scan and odometry pose and gives out optimized trajectory and map. Yeah, coming to the next slide. Yeah, this is small simulation. Skip to the last part. Yeah, yeah. So as you can see, those red color points are the actual point cloud scans that were generated from the algorithm. So here, while taking a curve, it has to actually map the points, right? So it has to move further. So while taking a curve, it actually waits there and searches whether the next pose is actually the next state of the present state. So after processing and after confirming that, it will be moving forward. This is the actual path of our college, and this is the data set that we have used to evaluate our algorithm. So here you can see the algorithm has correctly trace the path, and there is no Z error regarding this particular algorithm. So it's working fine, and this is the output that we have got from our algorithm.
Vishnu,
So
conclude your work, please.
yes, sir. Next. Yeah, coming to the results and discussions. So SCLM scan context-based reproduction algorithm excels at recognizing loop closures in environments, thus mitigating the drawback of fast layer 2. And fast layer 2 lacks this GTSAM based postgram optimization, which is also difficult to implement in fast layer 2 because it actually increases the computational power. So to keep the computational power in check and as well as increasing the advantages, so this hybrid method actually improves the algorithm and reduces the computational power by much larger difference. So this integration enables the possibility of fusioning various algorithms as well, not only this fast load and SCLM, and it actually paves a path regarding hybrid algorithms to be implemented. So it harnesses complementary strengths of both packages and concurrently improving lidar-based SLAM systems. So it also promises technological process. And finally, I want to explain one thing. So this is here you can actually see in these two pictures. One is generated by SCLM node and the right hand side one will be is generated by fast layout node. You can actually see when the robot takes the path which has been already which has already been taken. It actually detects I have already reached this particular location, and it was able to detect, I have reached this location multiple times. It was able to connect already reached points on the present scan. So that shows the efficiency and working of the algorithm. So this is the now coming to the conclusion part. This integration allows FastLiO to provide its real-time odometer estimates and raw LiDAR point cloud data to SCLM was implemented. So this enables SCLM to take advantage of FastLiO's accurate odometer information, and also ensuring that we improve our loop detection and post-loop optimization. So these SCPCO node, particular SCPCO node can also be integrated with various odometer algorithms, and it also paves a path to determine which odometry algorithm can be perfectly suited to, you know, to reduce our power usage and as well as increase the efficiency. So I'm concluding my presentation here, and this is my future scope, and these are the references that I have to for the project.
Okay, Vishnu, the presentation was a little bit lengthy and bulky in terms of slides, but your work is really appreciable. You have done a great job, and you have selected a good topic for presentation. Within this presentation, you said SLAM is having a major problem in autonomous vehicles. Okay, then why you have selected this problem for your
No,
research?
it's actually, SLAM algorithms. SLAM is basically an algorithm, but here when coming to radar systems, it's quite,
In comparative to other algorithms, which one is
yeah.
the easiest one? You said this is a complex, or this is a typical, or this is a um, having a problems. Okay,
Yeah,
then
actually,
which one is the easiest algorithm for this area for autonomous vehicles?
sir, for autonomous vehicles, it is always advisable to use LiDAR SLAM algorithms, because when we are using computer vision or any radar things, we can't acquire accurate information. With the help of LiDAR sensors, we can actually
Okay.
get a
For
clear
the
3D map.
implementation of your this algorithm, uh, where you get the data set?
A dataset can be it's open source called Kitty dataset. We also have created a dataset called RVC dataset, which has been implemented by wiring group of our college.
Okay, okay. Can you open the flow chart of your this paper?
Yeah, sure, sir.
Immediately, please open the flow chart. Within that, you have taken the okay. You have mentioned the data acquisition step.
Yeah.
So, what procedures you have adopted for a data acquisition? Within this, when you start the process and your first step is the data acquisition. So, for the data
Yes.
acquisition, what kind of process you used?
Yeah, basically when we are selecting the datasets to test our algorithms, we have to make sure there are certain topics present inside the dataset. So we require particular
Means,
information like,
try to understand what parameters you consider at the time of acquiring the data for your particular algorithm.
yes, sir, we need to make sure whether it has IMU data, and whether it has the data from camera sensor, or it has data from
How did
Velodyne
you
LiDAR
find that
sensor.
this data belongs to camera set, or this is uh, man-made
Yes, sir.
data?
Yeah, basically the dataset contains various topics like IMU, sensor messages, IMU, and as well as Velodyne LiDAR, and these are present in columns inside a dataset. So we need all those topics inside a dataset so that we can test that particular dataset to the algorithm.
Okay,
So we need to
I
make
got
sure
it.
we acquiring the
Here
data with all
I
those
got it.
information.
Here I got it.
Yeah.
Now, you said it. You select the fast LIO2 algorithm for this implementation purpose. है
Yes.
ना?
Yes.
When it does not extract the LIDR data, then why you have selected this? You
Yeah.
mentioned in
Exactly.
your presentation this is unable to
Yes.
extract the data from LIDR.
Yeah. previous to fast Leo 2, there were algorithms which were extracting features from raw data set actually. But this actually increases the computational power when we need to process the data before actually applying on a particular algorithm. So fast Leo 2 doesn't use that. That implies it doesn't have to actually work on processing the data. It actually can use the raw data points. So there is no processing. So there is no delay happening between points and supplying to the algorithm.
Okay,
So
okay.
which
I
actually
got,
is an advantage.
I got it, Vishnu.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. But in future, try to summarize your presentation at the time of conference. Don't make it bulky in terms of slides or like that. This is my suggestion. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Thank you so much, dear.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. We'll be going back with our first presenter, Jamin, to present a paper titled A Comprehensive Survey and Future Standpoints on Big Analytics of Mobile Data. We had the teammate to present the paper. Ma'am, if you're ready, then you can go ahead. It seems like she's not.
I think we call next presenter.
I'm sorry, sir, but you're not audible. Like the voice lagged a bit.
I request please call the next presenter.
Sure, sir, sure. We'll be moving ahead with our next presenter, Ulka Shirole, with the paper titled A Three-Phase Heart Rate Variability Analysis for Assessing Cardiac Health Deterioration in Diabetics. You may start with your presentation, ma'am. Ulka, ma'am, if you're here. Seems like we do not have her yet. Going ahead with the next presenter, Abhiram Suji, with the paper titled AI Art Authenticator, Deep Learning Image Classification. Sir, if you're here, then you may start with your presentation.
Hello,
Yes, sir.
am I audible? Okay.
Yes, sir. You're
One
audible.
second, let me share my screen just a second.
Sure, sir.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Can I start?
Yes, sir. Please begin.
Yes. Hello, everybody. Hello, sir. My topic in my paper is on AI Authenticator, which is a deep learning image classification software. The main focus of this project is to identify and group and classify images based on whether they were generated by artificial intelligence methods or non-AI. So basically, what happens in this is the objective of this project is to make a system where you can input where a user can input an image, and the system will tell the user whether the image inputted was an AI generated image or a non-AI generated image. And with this project, we have been able to get a accuracy rate of 88% in this. So, like I said, the main scope of this project is to create this classification and identification system to categorize these images. So, basically, in this project, we use machine learning methods, and the method we have used is we have trained a model using Keras and TensorFlow, and yes, the 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 ideology behind this project is to bring more and to make sure that oh, yes, so I was saying in today's world when the growth of AI is extremely advent, everything these days have there should be a with the growth of AI and the growth of AI technology and its role in generating different things like images and videos, there has to be a counter system as well to ensure to identify and ensure what is AI generated and what is not AI generated, and with that in mind, this project has been chosen. Um, Yes, in this project, what we have done is for the training, we have taken 10,000 images, out of which 5,000 were AI generated images and 5,000 were not AI generated. And for testing, we have taken 6,000 images, which are completely random, which consists of both AI and non-AI generated images. And the data set for this AI generated images was from another project which had an open source of data set. It was a project on understanding AI images on GitHub. And the non-AI images are just Shutterstock images from Google. And like I said, this image categorization project was made using a CNN. Training a CNN model, and it classifies the images into two, whether it is AI or non-AI generated. And yes, in this CNN model, there are a few steps steps to go through before it classifies and understands whether it's an AI and non-AI generated images. It consists of different layers. Like first comes the input layer, in which first the image must first go through an input layer of the CNN, and after that it has convolutional layers, max pooling layers, etc. So what happens in the convolutional layer is we can set it on different filters and different parameters based on how we want to pass it through the layer. For example, in this we have used a three layered convolutional layer, which consists of 32, 64, and 128 filters respectively. And then in what happens in the next layer is max pooling layer, in which the complete matrix of all the pixels, it is taken into a 2 by 2 pool size, and from each 2 by 2 pool size of pixels, the highest pixel is taken. This is mainly done in order to clarify the image more and get the whatever like features of the image. It can be lines, straight lines, curves, colors, everything. It has to magnify it even more and understand the color. The objective of this is to make the model understand the like past, understand the image more. And then comes the flatten layer. The role of this layer is just to take the image layer and completely make it into a 1D. So what happens is all the pixels which was matrixed in becomes a singular one line 1D vector. And then comes then the next three layers are fully connected layer, dropout layer, and output layer. What happens in this is there is a activation function. In this we have taken the ReLU activation function. And then comes a dropout layer. What happens in the dropout layer is, in order to avoid the problem of overfitting, it randomly drops out 50% of the start of the layer which was used in the start. And then output layer, in this output layer, sigmoid activated neurons, this is used for basically the sigmoid function of a graph basically means it puts the numbers between 1 and 0. Whatever was given as the input, the output comes as everything between 1 and 0. This is important because the main goal of this is to classify this as AI or non-AI. So for that, we need this binary categorization of 1 and 0. And yeah, the modules were first data collection, which, as I mentioned earlier, different data sets we have received for both AI and non-AI images. And then what I had mentioned before comes under data pre-processing. Different layers of the CNN and what it goes to go through comes under data processing. Then the data set which we had was out of 10,000, 5,000 was AI generated and 5,000 is non-AI generated. And for testing was also 6,000, which is also a mix of 3,000 from each. And then comes the process of building this neural network model. As mentioned earlier, this includes the convolutional layers, max pooling layers, and fully connected, and etc., and all the other layers and 1D layers, etc. And then once, like I mentioned earlier, sigmoid activation is used for the binary classification as because binary itself means zeros and ones, and sigmoid activation, as we know from the sigmoid graph, it's the reason is to give an output which stays within zeros and ones. Then the model is compiled using Adam optimizer and a binary cost. In any like training model, in order to backtrack and retrace its errors and make it more efficient, there has to be an optimizer. There are different types of optimizer. In this, we have chosen Adam optimizer. Then comes testing the model. And once the training is done and the model is completely trained and ready, we test the model using the 6,000 testing images which we had earlier. And then based on this result, the prediction and the efficiency is also calculated. Then this software has been put into we have implemented this using the backend Flask application, and in which there is an input page where the user is asked to select an image and input it, and then comes a result page where the software tells it whether it is an AI generated or a non-AI generated image. And when it comes to implementation, just like I mentioned earlier, the backend Flask web-based application was used and developed for this user interface. Then this web application, the user first has to upload an image of their choice, and then the output comes whether it's an AI generated or
Abhiram, sorry to intervene. Please conclude your work. And Dr. Kamini, please mute your mic. Yeah, please, Abhiram.
Okay. Then after which the model tells whether the image which was inputted was an AI generated image or not. And this is a screenshot example of the web page we had created first. In this, the image which was inputted was an non-AI generated image for which the output comes as the art is human made, and then for an AI generated image, the output is shown as the art is AI made. Then using the confusion, the confusion matrix was plotted based on how many true negatives and true positives and false were all plotted, and then based off this, the accuracy was also calculated. And with this, we were able to achieve a calculation of approximately 88% in distinguishing whether an image is AI generated or a non-AI generated image.
Okay, Abhiram, you have presented, your presentation was excellent, very impressive, and to the point.
Okay.
But I'm little bit confused.
Sir?
In this presentation, you have mentioned most of the time you would use project. Is this project presentation here or you are presenting paper here? So I'm little bit confused.
It's actually paper, sir. My mistake.
Accordingly, we need to change the presentation, no?
Yeah, it's my bad, sir.
Anyway, so please make it correct in the future for the future. Okay, and within the presentation, you mentioned that the AI and non-AI related images.
Yes, sir.
How can we classify these are the AI related images and these are the not AI related? Don't say that system generated images are the AI images or like that.
Okay. Okay, sir. Basically, in this project, what we have done is in this neural network model, first we give it's like trial and error, like how you teach a child alphabets. The same way, once you train the model using a set of AI generated and non-AI generated, it understands itself when the next image is inputted, whether it is non-AI or AI.
I got it.
Yes,
Can you specify the steps of a generation of any AI image? Let us suppose I want to generate an image with the help of AI. What are the steps I need to follow?
Actually, okay, sir. Nowadays there are already AI generation tools in Microsoft, or whether it's by Google or ChatGPT Premium.
No, no, don't talk about the Bard, Gemini,
Okay,
or
okay.
ChatGPT. What are the algorithmic steps?
Oh, okay, okay. So, 1 second.
I'm talking about algorithmic steps, not tool-based AI generation.
Yes, sir. There are different softwares like GA and generative. 1 second.
Generative AI,
Just a second, sir. Yeah,
you are
this
talking,
like this
you
one. GAN.
are
It's
talking
called.
about generative AI.
No, it's a generative adversarial networks, sir. It is used for generate even that is used for generating images, and then efficient net
Even,
PO.
even my dear, that can be used for the text generation also. Not an issue. Okay,
Mhm.
thank you. Thank you so much. Your presentation was excellent.
Thank you,
Okay,
sir.
thank you. Ishita, please move for the next presentation.
Sure, sir. We have Dr. Kamini for the first presenter. Ma'am, if you're ready, then you can go ahead.
Ma'am, if you don't mind, one of the student will share the screen and I will explain if you don't
Sure,
mind.
ma'am. Sure, ma'am. No issues.
Okay, Ria. Ria. Hello. Ria Mehta. Please share the screen. Hello.
Ma'am, it seems she's not able to connect, or maybe there's some connectivity issue.
Actually, we are scattered and we have internet issues and we are out of the city. So, and I'm traveling.
Okay, Dr.
Okay, next.
Kamini,
Can you
please
continue with
coordinate.
next? Can you continue with next? Sorry
Ma'am,
for the
Ria
inconvenience.
has just presented her screen.
Okay, Ria. Ria, open the PPT, please.
She just presented the screen.
I'm not able to see. Ria,
Okay,
please share the screen. Okay, okay. Okay. Okay, everyone. Sorry for the inconvenience. Myself, Kamini Solanki, and my reference ID is 20. And a title is a comprehensive study. Actually, it's a study and survey, comprehensive survey and future standpoints on big data analytics of mobile data. It's a specific usage of mobile. Next, the main next slide.
yeah,
Next,
Ria,
Ria,
please present screen
the
in
main
full screen. Ria Mehta.
actually our topic.
Anyway, please present your paper.
Actually, sir, our main purpose of this paper is data usage by the people by through the mobile phones. So, data analytics words is the mainly concerned with data of huge size, and finally, the data is converted into the big data. So, in big data, there is a high volume of data, variety of data, some of data, noisy data. So we are applying some techniques. There are some tools, and we are the expert people will applying some techniques on that data, and we can analyze that how many usage of mobile phones and how many usage of mobile applications in today's era, right? So, main presentation is focused on the comprehensive survey on big data analysis in the context of mobile data, especially on mobile data. So, it explores some of the challenges and future prospects of mobile data analytics. So, it increase the user-based functionality and mobile phones. Suppose I want to check that how many times I have opened my mobile phone or how many times I have used this particular app, or some business analyst wants to know that okay, that app will usage, suppose Facebook, Insta, how many times the usage ratio and how many times user generally use this app. So we can analysis this type of data based on these tools and technologies. So Next, mobile analytics involves the examination and analysis of data which are collected from the mobile or Android or website or from the Android applications. So it faces some challenges like a noisy data, incomplete data, right? And it's a real-time data collection. So based on if your data is missing, so we cannot take the proper decision or proper analyzing that data. So it's a big challenge in the mobile analytics. Next. So in how mobile data is being used for analytics and business intelligence, because you are applying some techniques indirectly on data, and data is missing and incomplete, then then you cannot take proper decision for that. So it's a integrated mobile data into the big data. Yeah, next. So it's a mobile application, external data source, cloud data, then transaction logs, each and everything are collected and put into the data warehouse. And based on that data, we can analyze that data. We are applying some data analytics techniques and business intelligence techniques on the data. So it highlights the entire life of the mobile data from generation of result, and data is integrated with external source with mobile data and kept sophisticated data storage and known as it's a warehouse, data warehouse. So there are so many data analytics tools are available. Google, Hadoop, then Apple Analytics and Cobot Toolbox, everything is available. So these are the tools. In that tools, we are applying the different techniques, and then we can analyze that how many times our Android
Dr.
app
Kamini, please, I'm sorry to
is
interrupt
used.
you. Okay, which methods or which technique you have used within your research?
It's a survey, so we have not used the technique. We are just list out
At
that
least,
these are the techniques.
you have identified
And
which
this is
technique
the
is
result
suitable
analysis.
during this.
We have Ria, open the
Play.
slide number 11.
Okay, leave it. You just specified.
11. Next, dear. Next. Graph, which have graph. So in this we can smartphone usage in billion and global populations. So here you can see from 2016 to 2023 the usage of a smartphone and the global populations of this. So based on this we can say that in 2023 71% populations are using mobile phone, and in per Indian per person 4 to 5 hours they are spend their times hours 4 to 5 hours on mobile phone, on mobile devices, to see the devices or to see the any app on mobile which are available on mobile. So they are spending 4 hours per day, 4 to 5 hours spending on mobile phone. So this is the survey, and the future scope is in 2023 to 2018 there are 7.20% markets are accepted mobile app, Android mobile app. So China will create the largest revenue of $119.2 billions in 2023. They are generating revenue from the mobile app data. So these peoples are using, the usage of mobile app is very high, and they are generating the Android companies, and they are generating the revenues. Hello.
Yeah.
So in smartphone market, 234.5 million units are anticipated to be sold in 2023. So in 2024, the market of smartphone is anticipated to rise in volume of 5.9. So in 2024, maybe it will be rise to to 4.5. So this data is taken by the reference of 19.
Okay, I agreed with your study that you want to tell that the market of mobile or a smartphone will be increased by the 2024 and successively that will be grow. Agreed. But for a big data analytics, you have mentioned there are so many techniques.
Yes.
For analytics, for the perform this kind of analytics with your data, which approach you have used out of Hadoop or Spark or Tableau or RapidMiner or so many techniques? For
Yes.
study purpose, which technique you have adopted or which technique you have applied in your research?
Sir, we have just a survey, but we have not compared different techniques because these techniques are depends on the requirement. The company has which type of requirement, particular on specific app. Suppose how many times Facebooks are usage by particular person. It's depends on the requirement. Okay, how much requirement you have. So your query, your data will generate based on the requirement of business analyst.
Okay, Dr. Kabini, thank you. Thank you so much for the your valuable inputs and excellent presentation. Thank you so much.
Sir. Thank you. And sorry for the inconvenience, sir. Sorry.
No, not at all.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Shitaji, please
Sure.
call next.
Thank you, ma'am. We'll be moving ahead with our next presenter. We have with us Nuno with their paper titled Blockchain, IoT, and Smart Grids Challenge for Energy Systems. You may start with your presentation, sir. It seems we do not have sir with us right now. Moving on to the next paper, we'll wait. We have our presenter, Chenma, to present the paper Evaluating the Success of the Digital Transition of Public Services in Morocco, a qualitative analysis of stakeholder assessment. Ma'am, if you're here, then you can start your presentation.
Naima, are you there? Are you ready for presentation?
Sir, it seems she's having network issues.
Okay, move for next presentation.
We will move on with the next presentation. I'd like to invite Vivian Alex to present the paper titled Exploring the Balance Between Automated Decision Making and Human Judgment in Managerial Contexts. So if you're here, then you can start your presentation.
Just one note that my co-author Anirudh HP will be sharing the screen. So
okay, no issues.
I hope the screen is visible now.
Yes, sir, it is visible. Please go ahead.
Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. Myself, Vivian Alex, along with my co-author Anirudh HP and Amla CB in her Shia. We are from Christ University. Our topic is exploring the balance between automated decision making and human judgment in managerial context. Our paper ID is number 92. So coming to the basic introduction of our research, as we all know that we are living in a generation where AI and big data analysis is in a boom. Many MNCs have multiple amount of data which cannot be just analyzed and put together by the human intelligence, because of which automation is in a province of management. Our organizational and also the organizational operations could be changed entirely if the automation is integrated into managerial decisions. Already the automation and the AI generated terms are in value because right now the quantitative data can be easily analyzed, but we chose particularly managerial context as because the managerial context requires the psychological and the human aspects which AI miss, because AI definitely works on the predetermined data. So therefore, the combination of AI and human intelligence for getting the decisions in the managerial context is what our research paper is on. Coming to the literature review part, Anirudh will be continuing with the same.
So, as we have conducted a extensive review of literature, we have segregated the literature review in three timelines. That is history of literature review, that is of uh, uh, past of artificial intelligence till 2014, where artificial intelligence was in use but not in a major way. But in 1960s, artificial intelligence came into existence for managerial decision making, where basic chatbot were used, and in 2012, conversational chatbots were used. Later on, companies started implementing MIS, that is a management information system, for maintaining the human resource or human capital, and also ERP was in use, and it is still in use for managing the inventories and also for management of other logistics purpose. Then as we move on, we have artificial intelligence in present world. So artificial intelligence in present world is the ongoing one, that is GPTs and NLP integrated GPTs, that is generative pre-trained transformers, and it is integrated with natural language processes. So this is helping management to interact with customers very easily. And we have big data analysis artificial intelligence, which helps in analyzing the data in snap of seconds. Moving on, we have artificial intelligence in future.
Coming from a commerce background, as we all know that commerce deals with the entire and numerous amount of data. So, as in the next 5 years foresight that we have predicted, the major concept is repetitive work and structured process, which has enormous data, but has the same repetitive concepts, and the application will be effortlessly done by AI, and it will replace human in future, because at same time cost and money. Already we have seen that many MNCs and the big four companies, particularly talking about commerce field, and many MNCs also are laying off thousands and thousands of people just because their work can be done effortlessly by AI nowadays. So coming to the research gap that we have identified going through the literature review is that.
So in the research that we have done, we have found the gap that research has been made in the intelligence of analyzing the human abilities and also abilities of artificial intelligence for managerial decision making. But there is a very less research made on human intelligence for today and future in managerial decision making, which integrates both artificial intelligence and human intelligence. Further on, we have three major research objectives. One is to study the requirement of degree of artificial intelligence and human intelligence in managerial decision making. Second is to study the evolution and future aspects of artificial intelligence, and also to study the ethical challenges faced by artificial intelligence in decision making and how artificial intelligence develops in correcting the bias. Further on, we will be continuing with the discussion. So, in under discussion, we have taken three major tools that managers use nowadays to take decisions.
Please conclude your presentation, dear.
Sorry, sir.
Please conclude your presentation.
Sure, sir. Sure.
Out of time.
In discussion part, we have decision automation, decision augmentation, and decision support system. Further on, we have made this model wherein x-axis determines complexity of decisions that management take, and parallel to x-axis, we have a time axis where decisions can be taken in different time. And in y-axis, we have a level of involvement of artificial intelligence and human intelligence. Further on, we have suggestions.
Further on, we have two suggestions. As our extensive literature study, we have identified that the qualitative aspect of AI and human intelligence in the managerial context is much less, and also it is not possible due to the peer-reviewed criterion. nowadays it is very common that non-scientific articles are currently dominating this topic, because nowadays the the sources cannot be trusted. But since there are less number of research paper in the same topic relating to AI, that is the one of the suggestion that we could enhance our literature review by adding practical literature to our research paper. This is a very small diagram and a suggestion, particularly talking about the managerial concept, how AI and HI can come together, collaborate together in order to get the final decision, or that can be taken by the middle level management and the executive level management, where AI and HI will collaborate, where AI will give and define alternatives and weigh alternatives. And you can see by the arrows, human intelligence will select the alternative rather than AI just making the final decisions. Coming to the last conclusion, we just if it's just that AI and human both intelligence are required nowadays. AI is in the role major play, and human intelligence cannot be ignored, because now since AI can't depict the psychological aspects, which is a major part at the time of decision making in managerial concepts. So both collaboration of both AI and human intelligence is important. And one last line is that what is the future of AI? Is just that AI won't take your job, but a person knowing AI definitely will. So concluding with our presentation, we just want to say thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, Vivian and your friend, you both have presented very well your topic, and as you said, you belongs to the commerce stream, so you are not much aware about technology of AI and computer. But anyway, your presentation was extremely good. But at the end of your presentation, you said that AI will not
Take
tap
your
the
job,
job of human being.
but a person knowing AI will.
The person, if any person know the AI. How
Yes,
you
yes, sir.
conclude this statement? What is the basis of conclusion of this statement?
Sir, we are very much aware as that AI works on the predetermined data, and obviously there is a requirement of a person who will sit and input the data in the database, according to which
Have you
AI.
aware about deep fake technology? Have you aware about the deep fake technology, which is a part of AI?
Sorry, sir, can you just repeat the question?
AI, deep fake technology. Are you aware about deep fake technology? There are so many good things and there are so many bad things which is associated with AI. So we cannot make this kind of concluding remark until or unless we are not aware about the technology.
Yes,
okay.
Sir.
Anyway, but your presentation was excellent. Thank you. Thank you so much. One suggestion for you. This is not a comparing session like any seminar or conference. You compare two people simultaneously. This is a presentation. So in future, I think my suggestion that one person can present the topic or a paper. Anyway, thank you.
Okay,
thank
sure,
you so
sir.
much.
We'll make sure we'll not repeat the same.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. We'll be proceeding with our next presenter. We have with us Pratik Pujari with the paper titled Hybrid CNN and RNN for Twitter Sentiment Analysis. So if you're here, then you may start with your presentation.
Yeah, sure. I'll share my screen.
Sure, sir.
Is my screen visible?
Yes, sir, it is visible. Please go ahead.
Okay. So, hello everyone. Hello, sir. So today our topic for presentation for a research paper is hybrid CNN and RNN. This is for Twitter sentiment and analysis. The authors for this research paper are myself, Adish Padalia, Tanisha Shah, and Dr. Swelam Kisar. These are the contents which we have prepared for this presentation: abstract, related work, methodology, results, and the future work, including conclusion. Abstract will be started by Tanisha, which is one of our co-authors.
Yeah, sir. Thank you, Pratik. So the abstract of our project was basically based on sentimental analysis on social media. We have seen in the news very often that social media has a huge impact on children's and brands and everyone around the world. So we tried to see what sentimental impact the
Pratik and
Twitter
Tanish.
Reels or basically any social
Pratik
media
and
has
Tanish.
on the user experience or user.
Yes, sir.
Can you hearing me? Pratik
Yes,
and
yes,
Tanish,
yes.
you
Yes, sir.
both are sitting in the same room. So please mute your mic, one of you. Okay. And present second one. Pratik, you are presenting?
Yes, I am presenting, sir.
Okay. Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, so analyzing, we have used the data set of Twitter, which consists of 520,000 tweets, wherein we have used a model of which is a combination of RNNs and CNNs. Basically, why we try to use both of them combined is one, the drawback of CNN is then used by or compensated by RNNs. Yeah, so the related work, we have done a literature survey based on some papers where we reviewed one of the three of the best papers. So the first paper, they have used the methodology of RNNs, wherein they achieved an accuracy of 80.74%, considering a binary task of 0 and 1. 0 representing for positive and 1 representing for negative sentiment. But the con of this paper was the model had a huge overfitting problem. Later on, we moved to the paper which used NLP by LSTMs, wherein the embedding techniques that they used were performing very great. But the drawback of this was that they had low classification and retrieval accuracy. So finally, moving to the final paper, we reviewed the paper of which used BERT model. The very good thing about this paper was it basically introduced us to how comprehensive approach they had used using BERT with other NLP techniques. But similarly, it has a very low classification accuracy.
Pratik, you have muted yourself.
Sorry. So sorry. Yes. Coming on to the methodology part, we have characterized into three parts, which is data set, data preprocessing, and architecture. The dataset which we have used consists of 500,000 tweets in the English language, wherein which it is equally divided as for 250,000 tweets in positive sentiment, and the rest is in the negative sentiment. The data pre-processing part concludes as dividing the whole data set into 80-10-10 ratio for testing, training, and validation. In the pre-processing part, we use the raw tweets, we remove the URL links and emoji from it, convert it into a proper format. Also, removing the stop words is important as we need to convert it into tokenized words. After converting into tokenized word, it is then sent into the architecture part, which will be said by Tanish.
Yeah, so the proposed architecture that we have used consists of, as we have said, bidirectional LSTMs and CNNs. So as I already told that both we have used the combination of this two models because CNNs sometimes what we have seen that CNNs are unable to characterize or extract features in such complex domains. So this is mitigated by using bidirectional LSTMs, creating a very robust model that increases the accuracy of analyzing Twitter sentiment. So the result that we achieved very much better as compared to the previous papers and previous versions that we have done. So the first, what we have seen is under CNNs, under the model where we use only CNNs, we achieved an accuracy of 92%. Later, under the model which used only LSTMs, we achieved an accuracy of similar accuracy of 92.16%. But a combination of both these models led to an accuracy of 98%, which is a significant increase of 6% only. So these are the experimental results that I just talked about. Later, Pratik will take it.
Coming on to the conclusion and the future work. So our conclusion says that our proposed model reached an overall accuracy of 98%. It was also able to capture the local and global contextual information with the complete robust hybrid CNN and BILSTM architecture. The future work includes the future work can also be extended by adding more custom data set or gathering, collecting tweets from personalized groups and catering to it. You can also incorporate involving replacing sentiments which have certain meanings such as slang or sarcasm in pre-processing step as well. Thank you. These are
Okay, Pratik. And
yes,
Anish,
Yes,
your
yes.
work is really appreciable. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
But, within your presentation, you have mentioned that you have reviewed 3 best papers. What is the basis of selecting these 3 papers? How could you say that these are the best papers?
So based on the output, we have decided and the number of citations that we have seen according to the papers.
Beta citation is different thing, or means with your result, that is a different thing. We can't say this is the best paper. Do you think that any of 3 paper can be best? Might be possible due to the with their results or methodology or technology wise, there may be some different paper are best.
Yes, sir. Actually, we had analyzed more papers than these, but out of all the papers that we have seen, we selected these papers for
your
presentation.
research. Where did you get the data set?
We got the data set from Kaggle.
Okay. And within your presentation, you have mentioned that the row tweet. Somewhere you mentioned that row tweet. Yes.
Sorry, sir, can you repeat?
Yeah, within this presentation, this slide, you have written row tweets.
Raw tweets, yes.
In place of that, can we write here tweets?
Yes. Yes, you
Simply
can.
tweets.
Yes.
We cannot specify that this is the raw or this is the finished like that. So simply this is a tweets. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So make it correct here. And thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Please
We
move to the
have Chema back with us. Ma'am, if you're ready, then you can start presenting your paper titled Evaluating the Success of Digital Transitive Public Services in Morocco, a Qualitative Analysis of Stakeholder Assessment. Ma'am Chema, please go ahead.
Hello.
Yes, ma'am.
Good afternoon. I'm sorry for this technical problem.
No issues.
I think I couldn't share with you the PowerPoint presentation.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm Shayma Ida Omar, PhD student in Abdelmelek Saadi University, Department of Information System Management. I'm truly honored to be part of this international conference, and I would like to thank the SMARTCOM organizing committee for this incredible opportunity to present my paper titled Evaluating the Success of the Digital Transition of Public Services in Morocco, a Qualitative Analysis of Stakeholders Assessment. So we begin with a brief introduction, then we move to the context and objectives. After the theoretical foundation, methodology, results and discussion, and finally conclusion.
Excuse me, Chema. I'm really sorry to interrupt you, but your presentation is not visible.
It's not visible?
No, you haven't shared the screen.
Okay.
You can share it again.
Okay. Mhm. Now
Yeah,
it is
right.
visible.
It's visible. It's visible. Please continue.
Oh, okay, thank you. In introduction, in 1990, Morocco generally started adopting new communication technology. The need was identified to commit Morocco to new stage of transition to the information society and knowledge economy, and to make it possible, Morocco had made new reforms and a series of national strategies covering the period from 2002 to 2095. So our subject lies at the interaction of two significant management sciences disciplines, new public management and information system management. The digital transformation in public services is crucial for Morocco as it holds the key to modernizing government operation and improving citizen experiences. However, in the implementation of e-government services and their adoption by citizens seem to be in a complex vocation. So, a survey. I want to move to another slide.
You can simply click on the slide that you want to move to.
Mhm.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So, a survey conducted by the Ministry of the Modernization of Public Administration identified 453 e-services. The principal findings of this survey that e-services are dominated in Morocco by the first level. It means that in information only services. Accordingly, the level of e-services maturity can be described as insufficient and in the emergence phase. So, it's premature to speak in Morocco about e-government, but more about e-services systems that correspond to the digitization of relevant services. So the principal aim of this research is to study, in Moroccan context, the opportunities and obstacles of the implementations of e-services in public organization, and how stakeholders, especially managers, perceive and assess these e-services systems. In general, the study of digital transition rests on a solid theoretical foundation. For example, new public government theory. This theory offers a fresh perspective in the realm of public administration, departing from traditional bureaucracy-centric approaches. The second theory is the fusion of innovation theory, which proposed by Rogers in 2003. This theory helps to identify factors that promote or hinder adoption of digital services by both citizens and government actors. The third model is the technology acceptance model. This model frequently used to measure individuals' willingness to adapt and use technology in the context of e-government evaluation. The first model is information system success model, developed by Dylan and McLean. This model is propose an articulation between quality variables and their impact in user satisfaction and public value creation. So, since our study is based on evaluation, given that this model of Dylan and McLean has adopted by 1,000 of studies in different contexts for studying the ES successes, and it proposes a multi-dimensional factors and have been theoretically and empirically validated, we have chosen it in our study to carry out the evaluation of e-services of Moroccan e-services by stakeholders. This is the model that we have adapted, and we have added the public value dimensions as a new and important concept in the field of public administration, because it describes the value that an organization or activity brings to society. So we want to answer on using this model. We have objective to answer the problematic question as shown here, how stakeholders perceive the performance and public value of frequently accessed Moroccan online administration. So this theoretical model will serve as a solid foundation to guide the exploratory qualitative study, and it helps us to structure the interviews and analyses, identify the variables to be observed, and understand how the various factors interact in Moroccan context. So the methodology that we have adopted is a qualitative exploratory method with a semi-structured interviews and abductive reasoning approach. That means that this approach give us the opportunity to make the going and the goings with the literature and the practical. The type of analysis we have made two type of analysis: content analysis and thematic analysis. Content and analysis by analyzing the verbatim of the respondents in our interviews, and thematic analysis we have decorticated the interviews in six thematic, like propose the model of Dillon and Miklin. It means quality system. First, thematical quality system. The second, information quality, service quality, user satisfaction, and public value creation. We have used as tool in Vivo 12. About the methodology, our study we have chosen in our study 17 stakeholders. They are real estate developer, architect, lawyer, and finance inspector. Over
Can you please conclude your
97%.
presentation? Sorry, please conclude your presentation.
Okay. The results of this. So the results of this. The results of this study, that effectively they are we have find that effectively they are a positive and direct influence of the variables proposed by the Dillon and McLean model in the Moroccan context, and they effectively influence public value. Even we have emerging five variables: human capital, telecommunications infrastructure, continuous training, state strategy, and willingness to use. So we added this five emerging variables to the model of Dillon and Miklin as shown here. And this is our proposal conceptual model for a Moroccan context. In conclusion,
Ma'am, sorry to interrupt, but your slides aren't moving.
In conclusion, in the context of Moroccan administration, our work shows that e-services system have a positive influence of the public value of digitalized administration. The verbatims also of our respondents revealed five variables as mentioned, which also have a positive and generally direct influence on the public value, such as some of this public value. We have transparency, inclusion, efficiency, fiability, equality, and confidence. We recommended, our recommending is for fostering strong public-private partnership to drive innovation and efficiency in services systems. Also, the government should promote research and development in information technology, and continuous evaluation and user feedback are very crucial for ongoing improvements and promoting transparent, inclusive, and effective governance. For the perspective of this research, we would like to point out this exploratory study centralized in a selected of manager stakeholders population, so it will be repeated or extended with another population of responsible responsible and officials of the same public administration, on the basis to compare the points of view of different populations. So this study could also supported by a next-gen research approach to simulate more interaction between the variables of this model. And thank you very much for your attention.
Okay, thank you, Jaima, for your presentation. But in the next presentation, do one thing. Along with presentation, you focus on your slides also. So the other people can visualize or can see your presentation. Okay. Thank you. Thank you so
Okay.
much.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, Chema. We'll be proceeding with our next presenter for the day. We have with us Sanjay Vihanji with the paper titled Immersive Experiences in Brand Recall in the Metaverse, a comparative analysis of virtual reality and 3D interfaces. Sir, you may please start your presentation.
Yeah.
Hello, Ishita, and hello, Professor Rishi. I'm Dr. Sanjay Hanji, and our paper title is Immersive Experiences and Brand Recall in the Metaverse, a comparative analysis of virtual reality. And basically, it's a behavioral research in management field. As we all know that integration of technology into managing business operations and customer interactions has become a cornerstone of success in modern marketplace, especially when it comes to brand management. Digital marketing is playing a vital role in digital brand management and brand promotion, brand recall, branding, customer brand engagement, and all that stuff. Now, a fascinating advancement in the technological world is the rise of metaverse. The concept of metaverse, in fact, and the rise of virtual reality and augmented reality are facilitating this development. Now, metaverse, it offers brands an exciting opportunity to create immersive experiences and do interactive storytelling, personalized interaction, deepening customer relationship, all that stuff. So because of this, many brands, like for example, Amul has come into metaverse to enhance its brand presence. There we can see Mahindra real estate has come in, the Indian brands, what I'm talking about, and many foreign brands like uh, Nike is there into metaverse, Roblox, and 26% of its revenue is generated by the Roblox platform, which is there. So it is not surprising that why brands are showing its presence in the metaverse, because that's the future of internet, what people say. And a lot of curiosity it has attracted from the researchers across in the management field and in the technological field as well, like how these things might work. Now, additionally, metaverse has the potential to significantly enhance customer purchase intentions for products marketed within the digital platforms. Now, we can see that a lot of Gen Z or the generation Alpha are also always there on these digital platforms. People are more involved in digital presence than in the physical presence everywhere. So next generation is going to be that, and it's the metaverse or the virtual reality or the augmented reality, immersive and interactive nature allows consumers to engage more deeply with the products, experience them virtually, and interact with the brands in a novel way, ultimately increasing interest and purchase considerations. Now, past studies have shown that different dimensions of value impact brand image and consumer brand engagement in the metaverse, while augmented reality interactivity plays a crucial role in enhancing brand engagement there. Additionally, research has also found the physical presence in the 3D brand marketing positively influences brand self-connection, and spokes avatar credibility, and virtual reality can impact e-retail by influencing purchase intentions through presence and brand recall there. Now, research gap. The gap in the existing literature stems from the limited insights into how brands are perceived and recalled in the metaverse, and the subsequent influence on the consumer behavior as well. Because we can see that a lot of gaming platforms like Roblox, Decentraland, these things, a lot of brands like Nike and McDonald's also have opened stores in metaverse. These are some of these games, and they want to increase their visibility and impact their some brands are doing some phygital marketing strategies. For example, it includes physical as well as digital presence, in the sense like they are opening their for example, burger store online. People have to come to their burger store in the metaverse, but take the coupon from there, and that coupon code has to be used in the physical world, wherein there is queue in the digital world also, there is a queue in the physical world also, and this way they are creating hypes, mixing phygital this thing. So gap, when brands are placing their these things online, so how effective they are, that's what we want to study. That's where the lot of gap is there. And still interface technologies are also very important, because whether we are using VR, that is HDMR headset or VR headset, or whether we are going with just a mobile 3D or you know 3D this thing using our laptops or mobiles, how these interfaces are going to affect the immersion of the consumers into the metaverse, and how it is going to affect the brand memory. Because past research have shown that user immersion has an impact on brand memory. Now we want to see how immersion and brand memory are affected by using different types of these interface technologies. So why this is important? Because will be very helpful for the marketers to advertise their brands, and to know how these interfaces will impact brand recall and immersions, and make suitable strategies. So present researchers focus on understanding the research question, that is, how does the level of immersion, that is presence, what we call the brand recall on the metaverse platform, differ between virtual reality headsets and the 3D interfaces devices. Now, theoretical background, I would like to tell something about presence here. Presence is, in the context of virtual reality and immersive technologies, refers to sensation of feeling that individual is present in that, but that platform. He's present there, and he feels that he's inside that. There, as we are seeing movies, we feel that we are present in that movie. So similar presence we are talking about here. And brand recall, it's a metric that measures how well the consumers can remember the brand. That's what we are trying to see here. Okay, and I'll not go in deep intricacies here. Yeah. When we are trying to, compare with 2D technology, 2D we are not using here, only 3D. But of course, 3D are accessed through 2D technologies like mobile and laptop, and VR headsets we are providing to the, where VR headsets can be used also to access the same thing. So I'll not go. Yeah, major hypotheses are how level of immersion, presence, experience on the metaverse platform significantly varies between virtual and 3D interfaces. Same way, brand recall, how it differs between VR and 3D interfaces. Now, research methodology, we did an experiment, study. We used the metaverse platform called Roblox, in which a particular game, and we asked we asked voluntary participation of our college students. Okay, and the game was played between 6 to 8 minutes, and we asked, the design was 50 randomly we picked 50 students who used 3D modes playing the game, and 50 played using VR mode, and there were fictitious brands inside of the game. And after 100 participants were involved here, and data collection was done after when they play the game. After that 6 to 8 minutes, we gave them a questionnaire through which we measured brand recall, where we had six fictitious brands, and we gave them 10 options, out of which they have to identify those 6 brands which they have seen in the game. And level of immersion was measured using this Whitmer and Singer scale, and rating from very high to very low. 5-point rating scale was there. So level of immersion was measured. So these are the group statistics. Where immersion, we can see that VR mode is higher than 3D mode, and brand recall is lesser in VR and higher in 3D. Now we want to see whether there is a significant difference here. So we conducted independent sample t-test. And here we can see the level. We first conducted Levin's test for equality of variance. We can see that significant value is more. So we conducted with equal variance assumed. So here we can see that the null hypothesis is rejected and alternatives accepted. And same thing we have done for this one as well. I'll directly come to the discussion part. Hypothesis 1 was supported as participants in VR mode reported higher level of immersion compared to those in 3D mode. This is because when they're wearing their VR headsets, they feel everything. They can observe each and every minute detailing of the VR game, and that's why their immersiveness is very high. When they're playing the game on a laptop or a mobile phone, they can also see the physical setting where they're sitting. So their immersion is obviously less. This is what we found, and this is in line with the previous research by Rottel and Turtle in 18. And hypothesis 2 was supported also, and indicating lower brand recall in VR mode. This is surprising here because in some studies we found that brand recall is higher in VR mode, but we got a contrasting study thing here where in VR mode brand recall is less, in 3D mode brand recall is high. Now this we started understanding, why it could be so. One of the theories it connects to, the heightened level of emotion VR may occasionally distract participants from focusing on brand related information because there is high level of detailing is there. Their participants are so immersed in the game that they don't see the brands. They are so immersed in playing the game. So their cognitive load, of playing the game actually, is heightened. Because of that load, they are not able to comprehend and see some of the aspects there.
Dr. Sanjay, please conclude your presentation.
Yes. This study, contributes to this theory called capacity theory of attention, where for any person, the attention capacity is limited, and VR mode takes away a lot of this capacity. If that capacity is taken away from a person, then whatever you promote there, it's not going to work. So VRs are not successful there. One suggestion from our study stems out from this particular thing, saying that if they're playing a game, the game should be very less load should be there. Cognitive aspect should not be loaded much, so that brand visibility will be higher. And there are few limitations wherein we focused on the narrow age group of 18 to 25. Fictitious brands we have used which were there available in the game. Limited exploration of long-term effects, self-report questionnaires, and a single metaverse platform. These are some of the limitations. Future research may focus on cross-cultural influences, comparative studies between virtual and real world, environment, and exploring user experience design, emotional engagement, and personalized marketing strategies are also essential. Thank you, Professor. Thank you.
Okay.
Any questions?
Thank you, Dr. Sanjay. Very
Yes.
innovative and interesting study for the virtual world. Very impressive.
Thank you.
And there are certain queries that is hypothetically.
Yes.
Not in a real manner. So what do you think about the projected market of metaverse for the advertisement in 2030 or in the 2040? Can you specify or can you brief about that?
I cannot comment on any statistics here, but I can see that the way things are moving, many brands are considering themselves, they're missing out on something if they don't have the presence on such digital platforms. And I could see that, I have come across so many literature, so many articles wherein Indian companies also, not only Indian companies, foreign companies, everybody is trying to have the digital presence. So many companies are using metaverse for the onboarding of their employees in metaverse. They want to show around the campus, and especially in academics, sir. I just came across some universities in abroad, America. They are luring, Indian students there. Now they have come up with sessions from Dean Academics, where Dean Academics will give a timing there, and these people will join that using their avatars, and Dean Academics is also in his avatar, and he'll take around to the campus. So these things are happening, and I think that academics is also not falling behind in ours, Professor. So brands too are very aggressive. When academics can do it, and brands are very aggressive. Amul has adopted. You can see Amul's metaverse nowadays. I had never been there to the plant, but I've gone into the metaverse. Even Devanhalli Airport in Bangalore, it is metaverse platform is there, so that it to reduce the anxiety of the travelers moving, because it's a very big terminal. People get confused and lost. So you can go firsthand, experience that terminal well in advance before you actually go there. So these things are coming in, Professor. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with your all the thoughts, and I'm making one statement, and I need your opinion on that.
Yeah, please.
So, what I'm saying, VR technology will be completely changed by the year of 2030 or 2035.
Yes.
Can you comment on that? And what will be the expected? What will be the expected technology?
Expected technology, I think metaverse will have
for a metaverse.
For metaverse, especially, definitely, Professor, I can see that there will be huge transformation, and lot many things we'll be doing there, I think, because since we are teaching to generation Z at the moment, if you ask generation Z students, if you go to the class and ask them what is metaverse, they don't know actually. But if you ask school-going children what is metaverse, they'll be able to tell that, define it also. And they will also take you, even if you are not experienced, they'll take you to that word also. I mean, they'll show you what is metaverse. So these students are going to come later on. This will be the generation who is going to work in the organizations, and will be the consumers as well in future. So when we talk about 2020, 30, these will be the, it will be in the teenage or in the, 25, in the 20s. So they will have a major impact and major stake. So obviously companies and even academics, we have to cope up with that, probably, Professor.
Yeah,
this is my
I completely agree with you, but
Yeah.
I think I think you across with the news in the newspaper for last week or before that,
Yeah.
regarding female raped on virtual network.
Yes,
So
yes, yes. I
at
came
that
across.
moment,
Yeah.
for that,
Yeah.
I think the technology should take care of it for security or other
100%.
concerns also. So at that moment, what I'm talking about by the 2030 or 2035, the
Yeah.
major concern related to security and all these are issues may be considered or catered along
Yes.
with technology. Okay.
100%, Professor.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Professor.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. We have our next presenter with us. I'd like to invite Tane Mathur to present the paper titled Securing Networks, a Machine Learning Approach to Intrusion Detection Systems. So you may start with your presentation.
Thank you so much. Is it okay if I ask one of my authors to present the screen?
Yeah,
Avni
sure.
Appala.
No issues. No issues. Please go ahead.
Thank you so much. Avni?
Give me 1 second. Hi, let me know when my screen is visible.
Sure. It is visible now.
Yeah. Good evening, everybody. I'm Tane Mathur, and I'm here along with Avni Appala and Anuja Jha. And we are here to present a paper, Securing Networks, a Machine Learning Approach to Intrusion Detection System. We have developed this paper under the guidance of Dr. Prashant Vatsal. For the introduction, networks and systems are more vulnerable to the attacks because of the internet's usage and related activities expanding so quickly. The difficulties that come with using the internet are never given much thought by the users. And that's why the methods for securing a system or a network and enhancing the stability should change as technology does, because both are constantly evolving. An IDS, which we have proposed, is a security mechanism designed to detect and alert on potential security breaches, attacks, or unauthorized access to computer systems or networks. Avni, can you please change the slide?
Done.
Here we are using the recursive feature elimination technique, which basically reduces the features and only keeps the relevant features that are necessary from the dataset. A machine learning model like ours consists of a lot of features which represent a piece of data, which is usually represented in a column, and hence the too many of these features could adversely affect the model's performance, which is why we need techniques like RFE to eliminate the less relevant features. When applied to the standard KDD-CU99 dataset, which is used for network security and intrusion detection, this method helps eliminate any redundant data. Our aim is to basically reduce the model's complexity by choosing more important features and removing the weaker ones so that we can achieve the peak performance of the model. The objectives of intrusion detection system are by analyzing the diverse dataset that we have proposed, IDS learns to distinguish the genuine attacks from harmless activities and minimizes the occurrence of false alarms and gives us swift and decisive responses. This technology, which ensures continuous monitoring and protection of a digital infrastructure, enhances its stability and security by defending against the constantly changing threats. The dataset that we have used, KDD99, is a widely used dataset for intrusion detection systems, and it contains network traffic data that is labeled as either normal or malicious. The data presented in the KDD99 dataset is collected from a simulated environment that includes various types of attacks such as DOS, denial of service, R2L, remote to local, U2R, user to root, and probe attacks. This dataset has become a standard benchmark dataset for evaluating the performance of IDS. It contains 41 features that describe each network connection, including basic features such as the protocol used, the source and destination IP addresses, and ports, as well as more advanced features like the number of failed login attempts or the number of connections to the same host in a given period of time. Now moving forward with the classifiers and the results.
Classifiers are used to are employed to predict the class or category of a given input based on features. These are the classifiers that we have used. Decision tree classifier is an algorithm that selects the most important feature in the data set and uses it to split the data into two subsets. The process is repeated recursively, with each subset being further split based on the next most important feature. The random forest classifier
Avani,
is
mute yourself.
basically a collection of.
Sorry, Avani, please mute yourself.
Sorry.
Avani, mute yourself. Your mic is on. Because of that, we are getting echo. Okay, please present.
So it classifier it builds multiple decision trees and combines them to make the final prediction. The majority vote in case of classification of prediction by each individual tree. Extra tree classifier builds multiple decision trees and combines them to make the final prediction. That uses the combination of weak decision trees to make final prediction. It is it has a fast training speed and high accuracy. And finally, the logistic regression model is it models the probability of a binary outcome using the logistic function. Hmm. These are the results that we have got. So for the result, we first implemented data preprocessing methods, which include data cleaning, data transformation, data reduction, and normalization, and also handling imbalanced data. After the initial processing of data, we applied principal component analysis, which is a feature reduction technique. So the result of PCA is basically you can see in the below diagram. Uh, these results were found, and it can be seen that using KDD99 dataset, it leads to a lower accuracy. And KDD99 datasets have also raised other drawbacks, such as outdated data, limited scope, imbalanced data, or lack of transparency. In view of these issues, we have to have an intrusion detection system with less number of false positives and higher accuracy. of detecting attacks, we then moved on to use UNSW NV15 dataset and scheme.
So the UNSW Computer Network Security Dataset was released in 2015. It comprises of lakhs of realistic, modern, normal, and abnormal network activities. And these activities are usually categorized, and our aim is to identify which activities are benign and which activities are malicious. The UNSW dataset is a more comprehensive and up-to-date benchmark dataset for intrusion detection, and it consists of a large number of network traffic records where each record represents a single network packet. Each record consists of 47 features, including information about the packet's protocol, source and destination IP addresses, port numbers, and other characteristics. The goal of the classification task here was to predict whether a given packet is benign or malicious. So to categorize, we use the proposed algorithm here is the convolutional neural networks. CNN are commonly used for image classification tasks, but here we've also used it for time series data. In the case of UNSW NB15 dataset, which is a network intrusion detection dataset, CNN can also be used to classify the network traffic data. CNN in this case is very well suited because they are able to learn hierarchical representations of the input data. And in the case of network traffic data, the CNN can learn to identify patterns, which is the most important here, in the packet header information, such as the specific combination of source and destination IP addresses and port numbers. They are also indicative of malicious activity. By learning these patterns, the CNN can make more accurate predictions about whether a given packet is benign or malicious. In addition, CNN is also capable of handling large data sets with high dimensional input, such as the UNSW dataset, and can automatically learn relevant features from the data without the need of manual feature engineering, as we did in the KDD19 dataset. Therefore, CNN in this case is a suitable choice for classification task, and we have been shown amazing results with this model. As you can see, all these algorithms give us a very high accuracy as compared to the KDD90 dataset. And even the accuracy is 98.8% to be precise. And the rest of the algorithms compared to the KDD90 dataset give us a very high accuracy. Therefore, in conclusion, we would like to say that the most efficient method of intrusion detection is by using CNN with a combination of the UNSW dataset. And this usually happens because the UNSW has a lot less redundant features, which is why we're able to get the high accuracy. And using CNN deep learning model, we can perform the classification technique very easily. And the accuracy clearly shows that CNN is efficient in intrusion detection, and evaluation metrics also performed to analyze the performance of the model. Thank you.
Okay. Nice presentation. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
We have our last presenter for the day. I'd like to invite Ma'am Alka to present her paper.
Yes. Hello, good evening all. So my name is Ulka Shirole. My research paper title is a three-phase heart rate variability analysis for assessing cardiac health deterioration in diabetics. So this is the overview of my presentation. Introduction, heart rate variability, analysis procedure, results, conclusion, and future scope. Introduction. So cardiac and diabetic diseases are leading to increased morbidity and mortality, and the researchers have explored cardiac and diabetic diseases for analysis separately. So my study is mainly focused on effect of diabetes on cardiac health. As the diabetic affects various organs of the body, the study is related with effect of diabetic on cardiac health. So this chart is given by the World Health Organization. So that shows the global causes of all deaths due to various diseases. So here cardiovascular diseases are 31%, whereas deaths due to diabetes is 2%. So this table shows the diabetes patients. So in year 2000, in India, China, and United States. So in India, we have seen 31.7 billion people were affected due to diabetes, whereas the predicted value by 2030 is 79.4 millions. So these are the various diseases of the cardiac. So one is the thickness is called as the cardiomyopathy, which is caused due to the diabetes. So where due to the unoxygenated blood supply caused due to diabetes, the heart muscles called as the myocardium, so they become thick, it will become thickened, and so the ventricles will not contract. So therefore, so this causes the dysfunction in the cardiac health. So next is HRV. So the researchers have explored cardiac and diabetic diseases for analysis separately. So ECG and that is electrocardiogram and echocardiography are the two non-invasive techniques for diagnosing cardiac diseases. So HRV, heart rate variability, is a tool for diagnosing dysfunction of autonomous nervous system. So HRV is variation of adjacent heartbeats. So HRV is the tool used here for diagnosis and which is obtained from ECG signal. So this diagram shows ECG is obtained by using a 12 electrode ECG acquisition machine. So where the position of electrodes is shown here, and this is the anatomy of heart. So there is a synovial node that generates the electrical impulses required for contraction and relaxation of the heart, and these are recorded by using the electrode machine. So this is wave shows the waveform, ECG waveform for single heartbeat. So PQRS complex, where P wave indicates the contraction of atria, where depolarization of the atria occurs. QRS complex is the contraction of ventricles, where the depolarization of the ventricles occurs, and then later S to T, the depolarization of the ventricles occurs. So this is one heartbeat PQRS complex. Now, so this HRV tool is a diagnosing tool for diagnosing the dysfunction of autonomous nervous system. So HRV is a variation in adjacent heartbeat structures. So ANS, HRV ANS can be studied from variation in the HRV. So ANS is having two branches. One is the parasympathetic nervous system and the sympathetic nervous system. Sympathetic is called as the flight or fight system, whereas the parasympathetic is rest and digest. So whenever there is an external stimuli, sympathetic nervous system, so the heart rate increases, whereas the function of the parasympathetic nervous system is to decrease the heart rate. So this is HRV. There are two waveforms shown, heartbeats. So this is one QRS complex. And in first case, if we see the beats per minute, heart rate is 92 beats per minute. That is the average value. In second case also, it is heart rate is 92 beats per second. But the adjacent variation between the adjacent heartbeats, that is two peaks. Here in first case, first one is 744 milliseconds, whereas in the next consecutive heartbeats, it is 427 milliseconds. Similarly, next adjacent heartbeats, it is 498 milliseconds, and this is the last, these two is 931 milliseconds. So we can see there is a variation. There is a variation is more in this case, in the first case. Whereas in the second waveform, if we see the variation between the two heartbeats, here we have 630 milliseconds, 675 milliseconds, 645, and 650. So the variation is very less. More is the variation, then it indicates the good is the cardiac health, and less is the variation indicates there is a deterioration in the cardiac health. So this is HRV from the literature. Now we have HRV parameters like time domain parameters, frequency domain parameters, and nonlinear parameters. So time domain parameters are related with the time duration. So they are heart rate HR, RMSST, that is root mean square value of the standard deviation, then SDNN standard deviation of NN interval or RR interval, then NN50, that is the number of RR interval which are more than 50 milliseconds, and this is the percentage RR50. So for first waveform, first and second, first waveform, this RMSSD, that means HRV values is is plotted. HRV, that is RMSSD value is plotted. So first case, RMSSD value is shown as more, whereas the second case, where there is a less variation, its value is less. This indicates HRV values are more for indicates the improved cardiac health, whereas deteriorated in the second case. So, but if we see heart rate, average heart rate, so it is same for both the cases. So therefore, HRV gives the information about the cardiac health. So this one is for the frequency domain, to obtain the frequency domain parameter. So RR intervals are plotted to get the histogram. And from this, the second one is called as the AR spectrum. So this one is the power spectral densities are plotted for low frequency, high frequency, very low frequency, and high frequency. So these are the frequency domain parameters of HRV: low frequency, high frequency, power spectral density, and this one is LF by HF. This is called as the sympathovagal balance, sympathetic by the sympathetic nervous system, and the total power. So low frequency power.
Please conclude your work.
Yes. So we have the again we have calculated these values, CNSN. Similarly, we have the non-linear parameters, approximate entropy and all. Where entropy gives them like these are the non-linear parameters. So this is the method. 31 diabetic patients data is collected in 3 phases. The phase difference between the two is 6 months. So this is the procedure. So first we have collected the data of diabetic patients, 31 diabetic patients. Then from the ECG, HRV data is extracted. So from HRV data, we applied it to QBI software, so that gives the time domain, frequency domain, and the non-linear parameters. And from those HRV parameters are analyzed to determine the cardiac health. So these are the results. So where we have the parameters are plotted for phase 1, phase 2, and phase 3. So first we have the HR. These are the HR is the heart rate, STNN, time domain, LA by HF. OSI is the orthostatic stress index, sample entropy, and so on. So we have observed here OSI is LA by HF. From phase 1 to phase 2, phase 2 to phase 3, there is a deterioration that indicates where the diabetes affects the cardiac health, and which are reflected in these parameters, HRV parameters. So the same graphs are plotted here. So this is the first time reading, blue colored one, for P1 to P31. That is all the patients, and these are the patients are arranged in the year of diabetic suffering. So here earlier from this P21 to P17 and above, the diabetic patients are suffering with less number of more number of years, and we have observed the value is HRV value is decreased. This is the difference. So similarly, in case of OSI, OSI is the orthostatic stress index value. So OSI is more sensitive parameter. Reduced values of LFI indicate a parasympathetic dominance, but OSI accounts for both PNS and SNS. Lower value of OSI indicates reduced SNS activity due to diabetes. Similarly, the sample entropy, HR, and STNN. So the values are plotted here. And what we conclude is from all these parameters, so as compared to LA by HF and OSI, SDNN and sample entropy and heart rate, they are less sensitive parameters, and SDN HR accounts for the, because LA by HF and OSI, they account for the change in the frequency, whereas SDNN and HR, they account only for the signal strength or the interval, RR interval duration, and not the signal strength. So this is, we have plotted the deterioration in percentage deterioration in significant parameters. So LF by HF and OSR are observed to be more effective parameters, so are used for diagnosis. So for conclusion is, from the above graph, we conclude that LF by HF ratio and the OSI are more sensitive parameters than SPNN and sample entropy. Since diabetes affects parasympathetic and sympathetic nervous system, which is directly reflected in LF by HF and OSI, these methods can detect changes before clinical signs detection and treatment or subsequent management of the patient, and thus can avoid acute and chronic complications. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Are you from medical background?
No, I'm engineer, electronics engineer. So this is a biomedical study, signal processing.
Then why you have selected this kind of topic? Have you taken help from any medical background person?
Yes, the data collected is from the hospital. That is mentioned in my this one paper. This direct hospital ICCU department I have taken.
Thank you. Thank you so much for nicely presented your work. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. This brings us to the end of the session. I'd like to thank all of our authors for their excellent presentations and contribution in this session, and all our participants for being a part of this international conference. I hope this session was informative enough. We, on behalf of the whole team, thank you for the support during this 8th version and the previous 7 versions of the conference. We will be happy to have you in the 9th version in 2025. All the presenters will be getting their digital certificates through email within 2 working days. Further, all the papers have already been forwarded to the Springer. The publication will be live within 6 months, so kindly cooperate with the team of SMARTCOM 2024. I also thank a session chair, Dr. Om Prakash Rishi, for chairing this session. Thank you for your valuable presence, sir.
Thank you, Nishita. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. I kindly request everyone to switch on the camera for a quick snapshot of the virtual conference. Thank you, everyone. Stay safe and take care.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you very much.